Today we're going to review some wireless earbuds. In this case, the SoundPeats Air4 Pro. Let's go. Okay, let's start our SoundPeats Air4 Pro review. Okay, so SoundPeats, an excellent brand in this space with an excellent quality-price relationship. Okay, very much aligned with me as a consumer. Okay, in fact, currently I do think they are the best brand in producing quality-price relationship earbuds. Let's go over the specifications and do our preliminary analysis on them. Okay, so in terms of drivers, these have a single 13mm dynamic driver. Although they only have a single driver, this is a pretty big one. Okay, so 13mm when you're comparing it with the average, which is around 10mm, I would say. This in fact represents a potential for better sound quality. Okay, but we will see about that later on. In terms of frequency reproduction, 20 Hz to 20 kHz, so the standard human hearing spectrum coverage. Bluetooth 5.3, the latest and greatest. It's always a good thing. Codecs, SBC, AAC, and aptX lossless or Snapdragon sound. So SBC and AAC, it's the standard, okay, in which AAC is the superior one. In terms of aptX lossless, it's the more recent high-definition codec on the market, okay? But unfortunately, it is a proprietary one from Snapdragon, aka Qualcomm, okay? And it only works with the latest Snapdragon processors, okay? Unfortunately, that for me is a big disadvantage, but I will talk about that later on in the review. Touch controls, standard touch controls, nothing new here, okay? Very easy to operate. This here is the touch control surface, okay? Very easy to get to and to operate, okay? Battery life, 6.5 hours in the earbuds, 19.5 hours in the case, okay? So 6.5 hours in the earbuds, it's within normal range, okay, which is around 6 hours in average. 19.5 hours in the case, a little bit below normal, which is around 25 hours, okay? Charge time, it takes 1.5 hours to fully charge the case, which is actually very good, okay, although it doesn't have fast charging. So the 10 minutes equal to 2 hours of battery life, it doesn't have that feature, but it only takes 1.5 hours to fully charge the case, which it's not bad at all. It doesn't have wireless charging, so USB-C charging only. Okay, this here is the Bluetooth pairing button over here. Oh, by the way, if you're liking the video, help a guy out. Subscribe to the channel and press the like button, okay? Thanks. Back to the video. It does have the mysterious low latency gaming mode, and as you know, it will come probably at the cost of sound quality or extra battery consumption, or both. It does support multi-point connectivity, up to 2 devices connected at the same time. I don't know if you can use aptX lossless with multi-point because I don't have a mobile device with a sufficiently recent Snapdragon processor, so I'm stuck with SBC and AAC with these. In terms of IP protection, these are IPX4, so the standard protection. You can train with them, you can run with them, as long as you don't submerge them in water or soak them, you will be fine. It does have in-ear detection. Okay, you have the sensor over here, okay, and it does support mono mode, true mono mode. So it will do the stereo down mix down to mono from both left and right channels so that you don't lose any audio information. So great. And actually I do think that goes for all SoundPeats earbuds. At least all that I've tried all support true mono mode with stereo down mix to a single channel, which is awesome, unlike Soundcore, for example. That's it for the specification part. Let's go to our proper review. And we will start with the sound quality, which in this case, it's a 7 out of 10, okay, very good sound quality for a single driver, okay. The sound quality is actually surprisingly good, okay, very, very good for a single dynamic driver. Those 13 millimeters really show here, especially on the bass, very detailed and deep bass. So these are great for any kind of music. All the frequency ranges very well defined and balanced, in my opinion. I do like the SoundPeats signature. I do think they have really found something very special with this EQ, at least for my liking, because I really do like most of their earbuds in terms of sound. Right out of the box, I do think these sound great. Next aspect, we have comfort. It's an 8 out of 10. Very, very comfortable, okay? In my case, these do fit like a glove in my ear anatomy, okay? You can train with them, you can run with them. The only thing I would say is that they're not very grippy, these ear tips, okay? But you can easily replace them with more grippier ones, and it solves the problem. It may also be an option for side sleeping for some people, okay? You have to try it by yourself, because they do not protrude all that much from the ear. It should be around this, okay? For example, I have several times fell asleep with these, and I had no problem with them, okay? They just pressure the ear just a little bit, but not enough to wake me up. So your results may vary, of course. Very, very good comfort. Next aspect, volume. 8 out of 10, excellent, more than enough, okay? Again, another SoundPeats staple. Usually they have more than enough volume, and these are no exception. Very good volume on these. Next aspect, battery life. 6 out of 10, okay? Nothing new here because we already saw that in the specifications rundown. So 6.5 hours in the earbuds, perfectly normal. The average earbud has around 6 hours, so these have 6.5, that's perfectly normal. 19.5 hours in the case, a little bit below normal, okay, which usually is around 25 hours, okay. I would say overall, just standard battery life, 6 out of 10. Next aspect, ANC. It's an 8 out of 10, okay. Very good ANC on these. Very good ANC on these. I was not expecting the ANC to be as good as it is, okay. Very well done, SoundPeats, on the ANC department, okay. It does drown out little ambient noises very well, and it makes loud environments extremely comfortable, okay. As I said, I was positively surprised by the ANC on these. I was not expecting an ANC that good, okay? Very well done. Next aspect, ear tip replacement. It's a 7 out of 10, okay? So these are oval ear tips. Let me show you. These are oval ear tips, okay? These are not round, but they are very standard oval ear tips, so that's a good thing, okay? You can easily fit even round ear tips on these ovals. The biggest problem I have with these really is the case that doesn't take bigger ear tips than these. This size is pretty much the maximum size you can put in these, okay? Ear tips that are just a little bit longer than these, and the case won't close properly, unfortunately. That's why they're only getting a 7 out of 10. Next aspect, Custom EQ, it's an 8 out of 10. Excellent, excellent, very good. This is SoundPeats pedigree all over again, and the app works perfectly on the EQ department as well. Very good EQ, 9-band EQ, very well distributed throughout the frequency range, although they are fixed frequencies for each band. And they do support one band, I think it's 20 Hertz, so they do have one band that allows you to control sub-bass frequencies, and that for me is a very, very big plus, to be able to tame that low rumble in the bass just the way you like it. Excellent. Next aspect, control usability and range. It's a 9 out of 10. Excellent. Again, SoundPeats pedigree all over again, okay? The controls are reactive and flawless. I don't have any problems operating this touch control, okay? It's very good, works very well, very easy to find on the ear, and they also allow you to control basically everything without the app, okay? Out of the box and in a very intuitive and user-friendly manner, in my own opinion, of course. Excellent control usability and range, as always, and this is common for almost all SoundPeats earbuds, okay? So nothing new here, excellent again. Next aspect, high-res codecs. It's a 5 out of 10, okay? So we have to talk about this. So although very promising, the new aptX lossless codec brings with it several limitations in order to be effectively used, in my opinion, okay? Namely, it demands a recent Snapdragon processor that does support Snapdragon sound. This means that a lot of the users will not be able to use this new high-res codec, and they will be left only with SPC or AAC, but they are paying for a product that also has a high-res codec. Unfortunately, they are not able to use it. So if you do have an older Snapdragon processor, okay, like from 2 years ago, or you have a MediaTek processor or a Samsung with an Exynos processor, for example, you're out of luck. You are not going to be able to use the aptX lossless codec. This for me is a very bad design decision from Qualcomm. I don't like these kinds of decisions at all. I very much prefer the LDAC codec from Sony because it is a free codec and it can be implemented anywhere without any processor restriction, okay? Here, Qualcomm has decided to restrict its usage to a very limited range of processors, and this will leave many consumers out without having to have the opportunity to use the codec they have paid for. So for me, this is a very big downside here, and I would prefer SoundPeats to have used the LDAC codec instead of this one, because I do believe this also raises the price on these, because I imagine SoundPeats will have to pay Qualcomm something in order to license the usage of aptX lossless and Snapdragon sound, I would imagine. For me, that's just a big downside on these, okay? Very unfortunate, because I won't be able to get high res from these, although I paid for it. Just my opinion. 5 out of 10 because they do support it, because the new aptX lossless codec, technically speaking, is very interesting and very promising. Unfortunately, I cannot access it. That's it. Next aspect, multi-point connectivity. 8 out of 10, very good implementation, okay? Up to 2 devices connected at the same time, which is the current standard. Also, the transition between the connected devices is instantaneous. So it's a very good implementation on the multi-point connectivity on these SoundPeats. Very similar to other implementations on SoundPeats earbuds as well. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test if you can use multi-point together with aptX lossless. It remains to be seen. If you have been able to test it, please let me know in the comments. Next aspect, gaming mode. It's an 8 out of 10, okay. They do support the low latency gaming mode. From my perception, I haven't noticed any latency whatsoever. Although, keep in mind that I don't do those fancy high-level analytical millisecond measuring tests. I just do my personal perception test, which for me in this case makes more sense. The downside here, as you already know, is that this gaming mode most certainly will sacrifice either audio quality or battery life, or both. Next aspect, control customization. 0 out of 10. Unfortunately, this is also SoundPeats pedigree because I don't know any SoundPeats earbud that allows you to customize the controls, okay? No control customization whatsoever. Although they have very high marks on the control usability and range, because they do allow you to control everything or almost everything out of the box with these, you cannot customize the controls in any way. Big downside for me, SoundPeats, I do think it's time you enable control customization on your earbuds. Just saying. Next aspect, fast charging. It's a 5 out of 10, okay, because although it doesn't support the fast charging feature, the 10 minutes equals to 2 hours of runtime, it's actually not that slow charging the case, okay? Only 1.5 hours to charge the case. Usually there are cases that take about 2.5 hours to charge. This case charges in just 1 hour and a half. So half the points, I think it's fair. 5 out of 10. Next aspect, find my device or find my earbuds. 0 out of 10. It doesn't have that feature. This is another one of those situations where I was kind of expecting it to have, because these are very recent earbuds, and most earbuds, even very, very budget ones from the same time as these, are coming out with this feature implemented. So I was kind of hoping they would implement it, but no, these don't support it. Next aspect, in-ear detection. It's an 8 out of 10. They work perfectly fine. Here is the in-ear sensor, as we've already saw. Works perfectly fine, okay? You take it out of the ear, it pauses, you put it back in the ear, it resumes playback. And finally, in the listening score front, wireless charging, 0 out of 10. It doesn't have wireless charging, only USB-C. That's it for the listening score. Now let's go on to the microphone evaluation. Regarding the microphone evaluation, I was expecting a lot from these, okay? Because these were branded as very good for phone calls and for microphone usage in general, okay? Lots of microphones and lots of fancy algorithms in terms of noise reduction and stuff. So I was expecting a lot from these, okay? And in fact, you can take a look at the companion video in the description where I test out these microphones, and you can take your own conclusions, okay? But for me, it's a 6 out of 10. Very, very weak, okay? This clearly for me is what breaks these earbuds, because in terms of sound, these are very, very good. The microphones are really weak, in my opinion, okay? Clearly the weakest point of these earbuds. The voice always sounds altered, very robotic and metallic, even when you're using this in a controlled environment, so with no wind or background noise, okay? It's like they are trying to eliminate background noise or wind that is not present, okay? So I do believe this may be able to be fixed in a firmware update, for example, because they do seem to be wrongly detecting wind noise and background noise reduction. Even when they aren't present, they are trying to cancel it out, and they end up just messing up the voice, okay? Which is really unfortunate. So very bad experience on these in terms of mic quality. Again, you can take your own conclusions. Watch my video when I'm testing them. Wind and background noise, you can hardly communicate with these, okay? So I wouldn't recommend these at all for microphone usage, okay? Two much better options are the Liberty 4 NCs, excellent microphone on those, and these here, the One More Piston Buds Pro Q30, very, very good microphone on these as well. Each one of these will be better than this, okay? Unfortunately. Now, on to the final score and recommendation. So, on the listening front, we have a final listening score of 7.08 out of 10, which is very good. So these are very good sounding earbuds, okay? Deep bass, very detailed and crystal sound right out of the box. Those 13mm drivers really show their ability, okay? Even for a single driver setup, the sound on these is excellent. Very, very good sound. In terms of microphone, it's a 6 out of 10. Very poor microphone on these, unfortunately, okay? In terms of price, so this is like the medium tier, equivalent to the Liberty 4 NCs and the One More Piston Buds Pro Q30s, okay? I do believe that any of those two are better than this in terms of overall package and overall value. Do note that the Liberty 4 NCs usually go for around 100 euros, okay, 990 something. When these are discounted, they go around 52 euros, okay, and when the Liberty 4 NCs are discounted, they go for around 65 euros. So for that price, for me, it's the Liberty 4 NCs, hands down, or the One More Piston Buds Pro Q30s, which in my opinion are the best quality price relationship for the full package, sound plus microphone, okay, and way cheaper as well. But the Liberty 4's NC will be perfectly fine as well. I cannot really recommend these because of the microphone, okay? So final thoughts on these. These were really close to be my overall recommendation for the full package. And what I mean by this is sound plus microphone. Awesome sound, didn't disappoint me on the sound. They did disappoint me on the aptX lossless codec, okay? Because I wasn't able to get any high-res audio from these and I paid for it, unfortunately. But the microphone it's the biggest disappointment, okay? And in terms of sound alone, you do have the SoundPeats Air4, which are very superior to these in terms of sound. So overall, for the price, in my opinion, there are better options, namely the Soundcore Liberty 4 NCs or the One More Piston Buds Pro. That's it. And that's it. I hope this was useful to you. Please leave your feedback and share your ideas and opinions in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date with the next videos, subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.